Hey there everyone, this is Yui. Welcome to episode 10 of Enigmatica to Light. Today we're going to build the Endergenic Generator from RF Tools from the ground up so you can see how it works. So let's get to it. Now, a little disclaimer here, I am no expert on this, but I have a rough idea and I am able to set it up and get it working. So we're going to go from pretty much nothing to a fully operational one. Now, to start off, I've placed power cells and conduits. These are going to denote where the actual generators go, so they're just in basically a 5x5, missing this side and the four corners. So it's a 3x3 in the middle. But this is where I am storing my power into a power cell, just because it's easier. Over here, I've got my ender pearls. They're linked to right there, over there. That nice setup from last time. And this is just to feed them in eventually. But here's roughly what you're going to need. You're going to need yourself 11 of those generators. You're going to need, well, 23 sequencers. You're going to need your pearl injector. You're going to need 2 ender monitors. You're going to need 12 redstone receivers tied to 1 transmitter. So in this case, I'm using channel 1. And you're going to need a timer. And then some sort of way to transmit the redstone. You can theoretically use more receivers or not, but you're going to need 2 different channels, so I'm just going with Ender IO. You can also go with Immersive Engineering if you want. So I'm going to pull all these out. Now, my Endergenic generators are infused just a little bit, so they'll generate a tiny bit more. Alright, so to set this up, I am going to go with, first, the timer. I'm going to place it there, facing outward. That is going to feed into the transmitter. The timer I am setting to 3-second delay, pause while redstone is active. And then, yeah, that's that one. Next, we'll put out the generators. No, not there. Just going around on top of all of these power things in a nice little box. And the last one goes there. Alright, pearl injector facing this way. Place it against this generator so you see the front here. So the back fires into it. Pretty simple so far, right? Yeah. It gets complicated, don't worry. I've got some temporary building blocks. I'm just going to build these out 2 on each side. I will be taking them down once I get the stuff on there because I don't like them. So let's just drop these on like so. Alright, now into each of these blocks we're going to drop the sequencer. The orange arrow is going to point inward, the cyan arrow is going to be out here. So just make sure, go around, throw in all these sequencers, not like that. And over here. Now behind the sequencers, we're going to put the receivers. So the orange arrow should be connecting to the cyan arrow. So it should just be facing inward like that. So let's put all of these down. The last one, stop moving so much. Come on. There we go. Alright. I am going to then get rid of all this cobble because I don't care for it. And it's no longer needed. You don't actually need to support those. On the inside here, I'm going to drop more cobble just so we can drop these ender monitors. These are going to face away, so the orange arrow away, the purple arrow against the generator. These should be set to mode pearl arrived, both of them. And that's that. Get rid of that and that. Right, your pearl arrived, yes. Okay, next I'm going to set up, well, these top ones. Here we go. More temporary cobble. And then the last sequencers, they go facing down. So the orange arrow faces the generator once again. Like so. There we go. Alright, so that's the rough structure. Now we're going to set up the redstone, which is going to help with basically resetting the timers and stuff. Okay, so it gets a little tricky. These two are the inputs. Everything else is going to be output. So over... Let me see here. Oh, I'm lagging. There we go. I'll use green for over here, just because this is the one I don't want to change it as much. If you're using the immersive engineering one, yeah, these redstone wire conduits or connectors, leave this one white and change this one to like orange or something, because that's the next one in line. But I'm going to leave it green and red. Everything else is going to get a wire, so let's just first add all the wires in. Almost. There we go. Connect them up. Here, there, over here, and down here. There we go. Everyone's connected. So these are the inputs. Now we're going to change them. This, whatever color you set for this left one, the way I'm facing now, this very first in this chain, this will be the first one. Whatever color you set for this, in my case it's red. This one here, and this one need to be those colors. So it's those three. We're looking at it from the standpoint of the injector. It's right here. That one, this one, and that one. The rest are going to be the other color. So in my case, they're going to be green. So I just need to swap them all over. This one, come on. And the input for the timer is also going to be that same color. So just double checking. This ender monitor is red, goes to this sequencer, this one, and that one, so those look good. This one is green, it goes to all the rest of the stuff. Going down, 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 down. That's good, and there. So that's the redstone wire. Next, I am going to link up. You could have done this at any point, but take your wrench when it's in blue mode, not orange. So if you right click it, it'll swap it. I'm going to start with this one and just right click and right click the next one. And this will link them together with destinations. And this is where it tells it this is the circle you're going to use. And there we go. So like that, now they're all linked together. Back to the starting point. And with that, we're good to go with the timings. I'll just eat a little food. Every time I disconnect, it just kills it. But we're good. So now what I recommend is take your smart wrench, put it in your offhand. That way, you can either fill this thing with pearls and let it go, or you can just put in a few pearls at a time. Which is what I typically do. So first off, we need to have this fire. Now the tutorial I followed says to put it here. But when I put it here, I have issues, so I am going to put it here at the 11th tick. So if I put in a pearl, it's going to launch it, it's going to skip this one, and this one's going to turn red. You missed it, watch it, and there it goes, red. It'll do it again in a few seconds, red again, because it's not actually going anywhere. So it skips this one. This is the first one in the chain. Now this is going to go around, and it'll end here. This will be the last one. In your recursive chain, this is the first one. So the recursive chain's on top, for all the sequencers on top. Your starting loop is on the bottom. So what we're going to do is we launch it here. So we're going to pick it up here. So this will tell it to charge, and we're going to fire it again after 10 ticks. Because after 10 ticks of charging is when you get the optimal power. Now for the recursive loop, we're going to need a charge tick. So while I'm going there, I'm just going to put it in now. This is a charge tick for the next loop. Now, if this stuff needs to shift the entire thing, like that. So it's always going to be whatever this charge tick is, wherever this goes, it's always going to be 10 to fire and 12 for the second charge. But this first one should be like that. Then it should look like that, and we can test that by throwing in a pearl. Watching the monitors, they should say last pearl received at 10 and RF lost 0, which they do. Remember, that first one is not part of the loop yet. So we're just going to go around the circle. Is that right? Yes. We'll do one row at a time. 4, 5. And that'll put it over there, so it'll die on that side, but that's alright. We'll put in a couple pearls. Check this side, make sure it's good. Last pearl at 10, RF lost to 0. Good. Move on to the next side. This is the easy part. It gets worse, don't worry. If you were worried. It totally gets worse. So, here, and here. Yep. Here, there, and there. And then I need a couple pearls in. You're going to burn through a lot of pearls testing this. So there we go. Last at 10. RF lost to 0. So we're good. Let's keep going. If I remember where we were. Okay. Back at the beginning. Now, your setup might vary from this. You might have to adjust these based off of when your last pearl is gained. Or arrived. Usually mine doesn't mess up until the end. Yeah, that's fine. So, last pearl at 10, that's how you want it. You want it to go all the way around, and that's the easy part. Next part is not so easy. Did it just randomly die? Yeah, random pearl discard, that happens. Don't worry about it. Alright. To adjust these, though, I believe it's... if I move it down here, it's going to increase the number. So this should say 11 now. Yep, last pearl at 11. So if yours is last pearl at 9, you're going to shift it down, and that'll increase it to 10. If yours is at 11, you're going to increase it by 1. And then put in the pearl, and it'll go to 10. It discarded it. Whatever. I saw that. Alright, now you start the second chain. The second chain, we are going to fire. The first tick is fire, so down here... oh, wait, we're not done. Over here, we need to receive. My bad. Hang on, where is this? Right there. So this should theoretically be here. I think in practice, for me, it's 1 over. Last pearl at 11, so we increase it. And last pearl at 10. There we go. There's no fire tick for the second round, so that's why it dies here. So we're going to fire it. And another charge tick. 1 apart. So if you need to move stuff around, start with here. If you need to shift it like that. There should never be more than or less than 1 gap between them. So if we do this, increase it by 1 because they're 1 tick apart. 3, so here. So what should happen now is it should go all the way around, and it should go to this block over here and die. assuming it doesn't get discarded before that. And we're still looking for last pearl at 10, RF lost 0. This one lost some. Maybe. Let's try this again. Yep, it's losing some. Let's see here. This one's losing some, then it is caused by... Not this one, is it? Takes it a moment to regenerate. No, that's... RF, totally forget. Usually that means you have to shift this guy. 500, which way? We going this way? RF lost is... means then that should be the charging tick. So if you notice now, my two are the same. It's just the way Minecraft calculates ticks. There's nothing you can do. You just have to play around with it. So when you increase the time or decrease the time, you're gonna... If you don't have yours infused, it's gonna be 500. Oh, that didn't even make it around. So this should also be 500-ish, well, 4 something for my setup of RF lost. Yep, there you go. So if you're at 400, try moving it to the left or the right, and that should fix the problem. Oops. And there you go. So this side is good. Now we're going to come over here. Where are you at? You're at 3, which is weird. It shouldn't be at 3, but it is. So we'll go with it. And there. Let's throw in a pearl and see what that looks like. How are we looking? 10 and 0, 10, 0, and 10, 0. So this side looks good. So let's just keep increasing it by 1 until it breaks. There. There. And there. Oh yeah, getting lucky. You may not be as lucky. To help keep all this in one chunk, this is one chunk for me. And supposedly you're not supposed to make many changes to the chunk, but I kind of don't care about that. Alright, let's move on. This one, and then this last one is going to be different. I already know it. But let's set it anyways. Last one you have to play with. Oh, random discards so soon. Wait, did I mess you up? No. Do that again. I'm missing something. 1, 2. Not enough energy. Here. 8, 9, 10. Skip. Good. I think... Oh, and all these once two. I may have forgotten to say that before. All of the sequencers need to be once two. Okay, what's going on here? Why are you dying? So let's try that. There. Not enough energy. That looks good. It shouldn't be, it really shouldn't be back there, but let's see what happens. Oh, I see. I see the problem. Let's try this again. This conduit here is pointing up. It needs to be pointing down. There we go. Because that's what helps reset the timers and stuff. Okay, try that again. There we go. That's better. Yep, 10 and 0. And now's where it gets weird. This one is going to be the start of the loop. So it gets reset from here. And so it is the start. But you're going to have to play around with this to figure out where. So it's going to be fire, and then you're going to charge 10 later. We're losing power, so let's go here. See what this looks like. This is just one of those things you got to play around with. Is it randomly discarding? No. Pearl arrived while... Well, yeah, that's the problem. You're missing something. There we go. Is that it? Oh, I think we did it. And of course, it's still going to die at some point. Random pearl discards will happen. As long as it's not a random pearl discard. Or, well, as long as it is a random pearl discard, that means you did it right. And so, it's discarding them pretty early for me. It's random. Totally random. But it seems to be working now. They're all 10-0, 10-0, 10-0, all the way around. And there we go. Beautiful. It's generating way more power than I need. Yeah, there we go. Up to, at my current infusion level, there you go, 5,184 RF a tick. Well, there you go, average to 46 times 11. So it's pretty good. It will get higher if you infuse it higher, so go ahead and infuse it. The very last thing I'm going to do, this is my Ender Pearl farm from over there. Let me just dump those in there, let it go. They're such a pain. I am going to throw, I have a resonant servo here. I'm going to use a redstone repeater, jack it up to 4 ticks because I'm on a server and it behaves funny. And this guy is set to 400 ticks, which is 20 seconds. So every 20 seconds is going to put an ender pearl into the system. I am creating ender pearls at roughly 1 every 15.5 seconds. So this will give me a surplus of ender pearls while basically letting this run forever. There we go, we're done. Oh, I'm so happy with that. It doesn't always come together nicely. Just take it one piece at a time. Do the beginning loop first, and then work on the recursive one side at a time. And then once you get to this last one, that's where you're going to have to do some playing around to make sure it works. But that's going to be it. It works. Good luck in your endeavor setting this up. But it's really, really good to have. So what's mine generating? Almost 5,500 RF a tick, and it'll be more once well, I can turn my lasers on now. Where's my conduit? Because now that we're generating enough power, I can turn these on. Out. I can get more dimension shards, so I can upgrade it more. So anyways, that's going to be it for this episode. So if you made it this far, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.